don't know that. We had the meeting, and it was so crazy that Diddy didn't sign him. I know that was one of the biggest mistakes of Bad Boy. And you know, the Preem situation, and you know, a lot of people were scared of Preem. 50 wasn't.
According to 50 Cent's been clowning Diddy ever since he got locked up. But what most fans don't know is how deep the beef really goes. From being blackballed in the music industry to losing homies in the streets, Diddy's been at the center of it all. And today, we're breaking it all down. We've all seen 50 throw shade at Diddy online, but this feud actually goes way back to when 50 was first trying to get on in the rap game. Coming up in Queens, 50 was in the trenches long before he ever spit a bar. His mom was hustling in the streets, but she passed away in a house fire when 50 was just 8. After that, he moved in with his grandparents, and by the age of 12, he was already dealing weight. He got picked up for drug and gun charges more than once before deciding to try rap. In '96, he linked with Jam Master Jay and started recording. They finished a whole album that never dropped. Then came his deal with Columbia Records. 50 released Power of the Dollar in 2000, and his name caught heat in New York thanks to How to Rob. That track had him naming names, even Diddy, and rapping wild lines like, "I snatched Kim, tell Puff you wanna see her again, dance your ass down to the nearest ATM." He also called out Jay-Z, Wu-Tang, Fat Joe, and more, and the city ate it up. Nas loved it so much, he brought 50 on tour. But then it all changed when 50 got shot 9 times and barely made it out alive. While he was in the hospital, Columbia dropped him reportedly over his track Ghetto Quran, where he name-dropped Supreme. A grift word is, Supreme wasn't feeling it and allegedly put a hit out. After the shooting, Supreme told the industry to blackball 50. With no options in New York. 50 dipped to Canada and hit the streets with a new grind. Back then, rappers didn't drop their own mixtapes, that was a DJ thing. But 50 flipped the script. He started remixing hot beats and spitting over them himself. The streets couldn't get enough, but the industry still stayed away cause 50 was too real. In 2001, Diddy came into the picture. 50 started ghostwriting for him back when Diddy was dating JLO. She's actually the one who convinced Diddy to work with 50.50, wrote Diddy's verse on Let's Get It. And rumors say he was about to sign with Bad Boy. But Tony Yayo later said Diddy backed off because of 50's beef with Supreme. According to 50, he never really wanted to mess with Diddy, even early on. He told The Hollywood Reporter that after the shooting, Diddy kept calling him to write verses. 50 didn't want to do it, but his baby mama said they were broke and needed the cash. That's the only reason he agreed to work with him. Most folks don't know 50 was ghostwriting for Diddy, but in 2002, he dropped You Not Like Me, rapping hoes be like 50 you so witty. On the D***** like they heard I ghostwrite for Diddy. He added, you got fat while we starved, it's my turn, I done felt how them shells burn. Same year he remixed Biggie's Who Shot YA with the line, I run the city and I don't dance around like Diddy. Back then, 50 was throwing subs, but it wasn't real beef yet. By 2003, 50 won Best Rap Video at the MTV VMAs 4 in DA Club, and Diddy actually announced the award. He even dabbed 50 up on stage. A year later, they were still cool. Diddy dropped the 10th anniversary, the Hits album, and had 50 and Lloyd Banks on the song Victory. Diddy rapped, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as it's here, we might as well shine together. Despite the sneak disses, 50 and Diddy were working together and even in the studio until 2005 when things went left. It all started when 50 tried to sign one of Diddy's biggest artists, Maze. After Biggie's death, Maze helped keep Bad Boy alive. His first album dropped a year after Big passed and hit no one. By 1998, Maze even launched his own label, All Out Records. Fans were hyped for his next album. And in '99, Double Up sold over 100K first week. At that point, Maze was one of the hottest in the game. Then he shocked the world by retiring to become a pastor. The streets buzzed with rumors. Some said Maze was beefing with a Harlem hustler named Baby M over a woman. Pop Lottie, a street figure, got caught up too. Word is, Baby M cut Pop Lottie's face, but none of that's confirmed. Still, both Baby M and Pop Lottie ended up dead, and many thought Maze dipped to avoid the drama. Other sources claimed Maze was really just done with Diddy. Diddy had put Maze on but allegedly finessed him into signing a bad deal. Maze grew up hooping with Cam, and when Cam decided to rap, Maze brought him to Biggie instead of Diddy cause he believed Biggie wouldn't screw him over like Puff might. Years later, Maze came back to rap, and this time he linked with 50.50, brought him on tour, and Maze told MTV that only Jay-Z and 50 showed love when he returned. Diddy said publicly he was fine with Maze joining G on it. Maze even popped up in the Window Shopper video, and what fans didn't realize was that 50 was throwing shots at Diddy in that song. The line, "The top feels so much better than the bottom," wasn't just about success. It was a slick jab at Diddy's personal life. In 2018, 50 even confirmed it. Maze also featured on the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack. 50 was ready to drop $1 million to buy Maze out of his Bad Boy contract, but Diddy played hardball, asking for $2 million. 50 said Maze ain't worth $2 mil, with $2 mil in his pocket, and told DJ Funk Flex that Diddy was on some sucker s * trying to block the deal.
It's like, what you looking for that? He said $2 million. I'm like, Maze ain't worth $2 million with $2 million in his pocket. Is you crazy?
It was clear that Diddy...
It was obvious Diddy was just trying to stall 50, even after Jimmy Iovine stepped in with a wild offer. Jimmy told 50 and Diddy they could keep all of Maze's next project profits, no cut for Interscope, even though 50 was signed there normally. Interscope takes a big slice, but Jimmy wanted to help 50 make the deal work. Still, Diddy didn't bite, just to spite 50. After that, things got personal. 50 dropped a savage diss and rapped, "Who shot Biggie Smalls? If we don't get him, they gon' kill us all. Man Puffy know who hit that underscore. He scared them boys from the west side or break him off, dump on his ass so he run to Harlem, to shake him off." Now everyone knows about Diddy's freak-offs, but 50 was calling him out over those parties way back in 2006 on that same track. He ended with, "Oh, I guess I won't be invited to the white parties in the Hamptons. I don't give a underscore, I don't want to hang with your punk ass anyway." Then 50 exposed Diddy again over the Maze situation, saying, "Gimme run around, this Maze, now you playing games, don't want to make the deal. I'll your underscore up." 50 said he'd already spent a bunch flying Maze around trying to make the deal happen. Then he told Diddy, "Now you go ahead and send me $50,000 for this underscore travel fees. You know, airfare, hotel space for that last tour, or I'll really come for your ass." At the end of the track, 50 dropped a line that nobody caught. For years, he said, "Alright, I see what you're trying to do, but why you doing what you're doing? Why you want me to tell everybody what Misa told me?" Misa Hilton, a stylist and designer who worked with Lil Kim and other bad boy artists, used to date Diddy when he was still coming up at Uptown Records. And according to Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, Diddy beat Misa so bad once she had to crawl under her car to escape him.
That woman till she was crawling up under a car, man. No matter how small she was crawling up under the car, man.
Most people had no clue what Diddy was doing to Misa, but when the Cassie footage leaked, showing Diddy laying hands on her, Misa posted on Instagram and said it triggered her own trauma. Nobody knows how 50 found out all this back then, but clearly he'd been sitting on the truth for a long time, already threatening to expose Diddy. At that point, the beef seemed to be boiling. But then, a year later, the rap world was stunned when 50 and Diddy hit the same stage. T was hosting Screamfest at Madison Square Garden, and somehow got Kanye, 50, Jay-Z and Diddy all on stage at once. At one moment, Diddy tried to put his arm around 50 and you could see 50 wasn't feeling it. Still, they kept it professional. That same year, 50 featured Diddy and Jay on the remix to I Get Money. 50 had just cashed out after Coca-Cola bought vitamin water, making him $100 millionaire. And with his music money stacked too, 50 was one of the richest in rap. Jay-Z, Diddy, and 50 were all in Forbes. So the remix felt like a power move. The Money Kings teaming up. Fans were shocked. People thought the beef was dead. But in 2024, director named Broadway All Day explained what really went down. He made the I Get Money video and said 50's manager, Chris Lighty, was working on a major business play that involved 50, Jay, and Diddy. So 50 agreed to the remix, even with all the tension. But the deals behind the scenes fell apart, and when Diddy got arrested by the feds in 2024, 50 told the whole story on Breakfast Club. CHARLAMAGNE asked about that I Get Money remix where Diddy rapped, "B knows, but Diddy did it / cars, jewelry, big homes, yeah. Diddy did it shootouts, coastal beefs, yeah. Diddy did it, but my lawyer's so good that..."
You know, you get confused in any way. Like Rick also has a baby mother who's currently working as a call girl. He has a daughter by Brooke, right there. Can you see that?
Then
50 dragged Diddy into the mix. At the time, 50 was tight with Floyd Mayweather, so he brought Tia Kemp and Ross's son over to Floyd's mansion in Vegas. Diddy was in the video too, but he looked lost, like he didn't even know why he was there. But there was a lot happening behind the scenes people didn't know about. In 2010, Diddy and Ross started linking up in the studio, and Diddy officially became Ross's manager. 50 doesn't vibe with anyone who rolls with his enemies, and Diddy clearly picked a side. He even launched a new clique with Ross called the Bugatti Boys. Now, 50's been calling out fake gangsters since day one. His breakout track Wongster was all about industry dudes pretending to be street. He rapped, "You say you a gangster but you never pop nothin'. We say you a Wongster and you need to stop frontin'." Everyone knew Ross was lying about moving. Wait, but Diddy? He's been fabricating his image too since the bad boy days. Diddy always claimed he came up from the trenches in Harlem, but that's not the full story. Yes, His dad was tied to notorious drug kingpin Frank Lucas, but Diddy himself grew up in Mount Vernon, a well-off suburb in New York, while 50 was hustling just to survive. Diddy was in private school playing football and serving as an altar boy. After that, he went to Howard University and studied business. Both Ross and Diddy were faking the street life, and 50 wasn't letting that slide. So once they teamed up, 50 turned the heat up. In a 2010 radio interview, he called Diddy a bloodsucker and trashed his music, saying it was trash. He also clowned Ross and told Diddy to stop comparing him to Biggie. Diddy never directly responded to the interview, but he clapped back by naming his new crew the Supreme Team, which was a direct shot. That's the same name as the gang Kenneth Supreme. McGriff ran the man who allegedly tried to have 50 killed, so 50 fired back in another interview, saying Diddy wasn't even a real artist because he doesn't create his own music.
You know what's interesting? He's not an artist.
He has the album.
Yeah, but he's not an artist. See, an artist would be someone who actually wrote something on the record.
Then Diddy responded during the BET Awards post-show, going off in his speech saying, "If you hate on me, you a sucker. You ashy, your breath stank. You know who I'm talking to, you hating his crab." But 50's biggest issues with Diddy hadn't even been revealed yet. In 2010, 50 came for Diddy again, this time for using Biggie's name to sell records. Diddy had dropped The Ghost of Christopher Wallace with Jay Electronica, and 50 was so heated he started a Twitter petition to make Diddy stop using Biggie for clout.
To describe Puffy in one word is see, you know how ugly always got like pretty friends?
Yeah, I know
That's
what
how
you
he built his group. He want to be the hot in the group. He'll make sure he getting all the attention.
That wasn't the end of the story, though. And 50 was about to drop a bomb on.
But that was just the beginning, because the real bomb was still coming. Diddy's downfall started when Cassie Ventura, his ex, filed a lawsuit accusing him of years of abuse. The story blew up everywhere. They settled the case a day later. But when a video leaked of Diddy attacking her in a hotel, that's when it truly exploded. Now, Cassie didn't file that lawsuit until 2023, but 50 had already hinted at what was going on way back in 2010. In an old interview, 50 said that, even after the Maze deal went left, he'd still talk to Diddy on the phone. He told Diddy that some graphic photos of Cassie were being circulated. "They sent me the girl pictures. I mean, not just nudes, we token way worse, like penetration pics. Not thisser worse, way worse." At the time, 50 was actually trying to help. But once he figured out that Cassie never even wanted to take those pics and it was all Diddy's idea, that's when he backed off. The wild part, that interview barely made waves. Most people never heard it. Then a month later, 50 did another. The interview where he said he had just talked to Diddy again, acting like things were cool. For a couple years, it seemed like the beef was dead. But in 2012, 50 randomly fired up the drama again, accusing Diddy of hooking up with James Cruz. James Cruz, who's been in the game for years, worked with both Diddy and 50. No one really knows why 50 exposed him, but Tony Yeo later confirmed the rumor in a Vlad TV interview. Apparently, 50 and James Cruz got into a heated argument, and 50 yelled, "You_Diddy." After that, the trolling hit another level. 50 posted a pic of Rick Ross and Diddy looking like they were about to kiss and captioned it, "Good morning, girl. Love is in the air." Then when Diddy, Ross, and French Montana dropped a big homie, 50 called it straight garbage. The beef wasn't just personal, it was also business. Diddy was making big money off CROC and he pushed it everywhere. But in 2014, 50 jumped into the vodka game too with his brand EFFEN.50 clowned Diddy, and even came for French Montana, posting a photo that looked like Diddy and French were cuddled up. He wrote, "What in the EFFEN vodka world is going on? Here's something not right." Diddy fired back and said he was sending Y a lifetime supply of CROC, then mocked him, saying 50 should thank him for opening industry doors.
Welcome him into the game, you know. It's good to see somebody of my color out there, you know, represented in this field. And, you know, hopefully he appreciates me opening up the doors for him continuously.
At one point, French Montana was even caught on video shouting out EFFEN, but a few days later, he switched up and shouted out CROC instead. People figured Diddy must have pressed him about it, especially after French dumped a whole stash of effin' bottles in the trash saying, "This how I feel about you. What the is this?" Then 50 claimed Diddy did French just like he did James Cruz.
Just seen a clip of French Montana throwing bottles of effing in the garbage. You know, Puffy called him like, "You said you fucking like this shit. You fucking bitch. You want your record out, don't you? You fucking dummy. You fucking playing. They fucking putting us out of business, you fucking asshole. You better do something."
The beef about the vodka?
50 said, "I just saw a clip of French dumping the bottles. Puffy probably called him like, yo, what the underscore you're doing? You want your record out or not? You better do something. They're putting us out of business." The vodka war kept going, but by 2018, things really got strange. Diddy showed up on Drink Champs and his whole vibe was off. He was acting funny the entire interview. But the moment that really went viral was when he turned to Fabulous and said, "I want to party with you." for your birthday.
Miss me though, for real, because I'm saying, it seems like a thing.
I
with
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man.
Man, but I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying?
50 clowned Diddy over the Fabulous.
50 kept clowning Diddy over the whole Fabulous situation, but then he exposed a wild old school story that had fans shook. Back in 2003, both 50 and Diddy were at Chris Lighty's wedding, and they ended up sitting at the same table there. Wasn't any beef at that time, but during the wedding, Diddy looked at 50 and said he wanted to take him shopping.
One time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding.
After that
moment, 50 said he started feeling weird around Diddy. In 2024, he told The Hollywood Reporter, "Nah, I ain't messing with that strange energy or that weirdo underscore." Even though 50 worked with Diddy after that, he made it clear they were never friends. It was strictly business, according to 50. Diddy's just a slick businessman who takes advantage of artists, and since 50 writes and raps for real, he never respected that. When 50's Breakfast Club interview went viral, Diddy fired back on the same show. He addressed the infamous shopping line, saying he was just being generous. He thought 50 needed better clothes. I asked 50 about that ... And yeah, I said I'd take him shopping. I thought he needed some new clothes. It was shade, no doubt, but Diddy also tried to keep things cool, saying, "I got no beef with 50. He loves me. That's real. He loves me."
Shoot the fade, nigga. Fuck all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis?
50 clearly wasn't stressing over Stevie J. Just a few days later, he turned the trolling up another level. He posted a photo mashup of Diddy's face with Jeffrey Epstein's, and fans went wild. And it's not just 50 going at Diddy, he's been co-signing everyone else who's throwing shade too. In 2024, Gucci Mane dropped a wild track called Take That, and threw direct shots like, "I got a young Miami underscore from the city per, I'm spending money like a trick, no Diddy, pissy yellow diamonds, no Diddy, but she can't be underage, no Diddy." He even added, "Extendo with a switch, no Diddy, passing pills like frisbees, no Diddy." There were even rumors that Diddy had goons blow up Kid Cudi's car over Cassie, and Gucci rapped, "Diamonds dancing on my chest, no Diddy, blow a underscore car up like Kid Cudi." He kept going. "Yacht shots, no Diddy, top from the thoughts, no Diddy, some dudes wanna box me. I'm not 50 but get a underscore touched like Biggie, no Diddy." 50 was all in, reposting the track and hyping it up. Around the same time, he even gave props to Kesha for dissing Diddy at COACHELLA. That everyone remembers her hit TikTok where she said, "Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy," but at Coachella she flipped it and said, "Wake up in the morning like underscore P. Diddy." 50's been going non-stop ever since the lawsuits hit, and now he's even working on a full-blown Diddy documentary for Netflix. And 50's also been saying that Diddy had Tupac killed. It turns out Diddy had ties to one of the most dangerous names in the industry, Jimmy Henchman. Jimmy was a street legend who crossed into the music business in the 90s and allegedly played a part in the Tupac shooting in NYC that kicked off the war with Biggie and the whole East Coast versus West Coast beef. A lot of people have always believed Diddy had a hand in it, and it didn't stop there. Henchman had major issues with 50's crew. One day, 50 and Diddy were in the same room when 50's manager, Chris Lighty, got into it with Jimmy. According to witnesses, Chris Lighty straight up punched Henchman in the face, and Diddy had to jump in and break it up. At the time, Henchman was managing the game, who had beef with 50, but people say that behind the scenes, it was way deeper. In 2007, Tony Yayo and Lomac, both Geonid affiliates, allegedly ran into Henchman's son on the street and put hands on him. Not long after that, Henchman reportedly put a hit out on Lomac, and in 2009, Mac was gunned down. Henchman was later sentenced to life in prison, and rumors say Diddy knew about the hit but stayed silent. Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, even claimed that Diddy also knew Henchman was setting up Tupac before it happened.
It surprised me at all that Jimmy Henchman probably told him, "Yo, I'm about to teach this nigga Pac a lesson for saying crazy shit and talking shit to me." Because it wasn't supposed to be a shooting. It was only supposed to be a robbery. But you never know what happened when people carry guns.
There's still no solid proof that Diddy was involved in Lomac's hit or the Tupac setup, but the feds are deep into the case, and more details are expected to come out soon. It's looking so bad for Diddy that even his own legal team is bailing. In February 2025, Diddy's high-profile lawyer Anthony Ricco stepped down and said, "Under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs." That's insane, because Ricco is the same guy who once defended Osama bin Laden in court. If that man could ride with bin Laden but not with Diddy, something wild must be going down behind the scenes right now. Nobody knows what's going to happen next in Diddy's case, but one thing's for sure, 50 Cent is gonna keep trolling till the very end.